Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name's Neil. I'm converting this Ford Transit into an off-grid camper van on a budget. You probably guessed from the title of the video, today's an exciting day. We're going to be mounting the solar panel on the roof, so let's crack on. Okay folks, so here's my budget setup. We've got a Renogy 100 watt monocrystalline solar panel, a 10 amp Renogy Wanderer controller, 10 meters MC4 cable, brackets, a gland, although I'm not sure I'm going to use this, and some PU18 polyurethane sealant, which is the same as Sikaflex but half the price. In fact, I think this is better than Sikaflex. So let's get started. First job will be to clean the roof. Ready? No, it doesn't look pretty, but it should be waterproof. Okay folks, that's the panel on. Here's the bolts. Gave them a good dose of sealant around them, so hopefully they'll hold. Here's where the cables come in. There was a plastic grommet, so I just drilled through the grommet and then filled up the recess with sealant, so hopefully that'll be watertight. If it's not, I've got the gland there, so I can always redo it, but this will be dry tomorrow and I'll throw some water over it and see what it's like, but I'm pretty confident that they'll be all watertight. Oh, an interesting side note, after bigging it up, the PU18 I got from eBay was dry.
The PU18 came out almost like a putty, so I had to nip down to Toolstation and I picked up a tube of Pureflex 40, which is basically just a high modulus polyurethane sealant, much the same as Sikaflex, much the same as the PU18, so this will do the job, and it was only a fibre, so not too bad.
Just crimping up the negative connections. Perfect. Now what you want to do when you're wiring in your panel is you connect the battery first, so positive, negative to your leisure battery, and then if you're going to be running a load, connect the positive and the negative of the load, and then finally you connect the positive and the negative of the panel. The panel is currently covered, it has been for about a week. Yeah, but you see I've installed a breaker switch here, so I can switch the panel off if I want to work on the system. And the other thing you need to do is put an inline fuse close to the battery. So I'm going to have the fuse not 6 inches away. It's a 10 amp charge controller, so you want to use 1.5 times your controller. So this has got a 15 amp fuse in it. If you had a 20 amp controller, obviously you'd put a 30 amp. But mine's just a 10, it's a single panel, so I'm going to be using a 15 amp fuse. And it's got a 15 amp breaker switch as well. But I'll crack on with the fitting. Now what I like to do on these wires is to put a bit of heat shrink on first, and then put heat shrink over the top of the terminal. Otherwise you sometimes get left with like a little gap. It just doesn't look very nice. So now I'm using insulated terminals, so connectors, so you don't really need to shrink tube them, but if that will focus, maybe not. That looks much better, much neater, I feel anyway, and it's a bit more secure. So there's the positive made up with the fuse, and we're getting close to connecting the panel. So there we've got the positive fused, got the positive of the battery, 15 amp fuse, we've got the negative going up. Now I just need to connect these two to the battery. I'm not going to be running a load from the charge controller, so I'm just going to connect these two, and then it'll be time to connect the panel wires, and I'll go and take the cover off the panel, and hopefully we'll be creating free electricity. Now when I plug this positive in, the charge controller should get a read from the battery and switch on. There you go. Okay, the last wire. Hold on to your butts. It's a bit too long actually. Hang on, I'm just going to take it down an inch. It's still a wee bit long, but I can fix that at a later date. It's no big deal. It was beautiful and sunny all day, but it suddenly went cloudy. But let's go up and I'll take the cover off the panel. See if we get power. So there you have it, folks. It's working. You can see the battery charging. It's bringing in 13.8 volts.
Next, I'll check the breaker switch is working.
Look, it went off. It's not bringing in any volts. Let's switch it back. Now if I want to work on the system, I can just ping it. See it dropping, there you go. See, the panel light came on again. From sort of here onwards is going to be a bulkhead, because the garage section is going to be for my work equipment. So I'm going to move this to the inside of the bulkhead so I can see what it's doing, from the living area. But with the way things are with the lockdown, getting wood and that could be weeks or months away. So I wanted to get this up and working. The panel's been on the roof for about 10 days. But yeah, pleased with that. Free electricity. I just thought I should mention that this whole setup was done on a budget. Probably less than £100 for the whole setup. And that included a 100 watt Renogy panel, a monocrystalline, the 10 amp Renogy charge controller. That was only £13. 10 meters of MC4 cable was $7.99. If you just buy a whole cable with one connector on each end and cut it in half, you essentially get two 5-meter cables. So that's a much cheaper way to do it than buying two individual cables as a pack. It's about half the price. The panel itself was £72 from Amazon. The brackets were they're about £4 from China.
If you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up. Any questions, drop a comment down below. If you want to follow the build, please consider subscribing as you can see it progress. Until next time, thanks for watching.